So what you'll need for this card is some glue, some foam squares, and I have a couple of foam dots. I don't know if I'll use them for this card, but we'll have them handy just in case. And I like to use like either bone file, but I have a popsicle stick because I just haven't found mine. So I gotta locate it, and I wanted to get this video going, but what I start off doing is just stacking this card after it's cut out. I'll try to stack it like it's in the file so that I'll know where everything goes. And that way I'll know what I want to layer. So an option is you can layer each piece, like layer 1, 2, and 3, front, top, and the back layer. Or you can just lay maybe I'll say layer them, but you could add foam tape to each of those layers, or you could just add foam spacing to just 1 or 2 of those layers, or to some of the accents. So right now, because I have things kind of overlapping, and I wouldn't mind adding some foam dots to this little house, but the little dots that I have are a little larger, and I don't think I'm going to try to cut them down. But and I think it'll be nice. It'll be nice if it pops out a little bit more, but these edges are a little too small for the dots, and I don't want the foam to show through. But what I'm going to do is add foam to this back layer. So before I get started, I want to go ahead and just glue on that first layer. And just be cautious with this card because we have a couple of little small pieces of grass, the little blue grass, kind of like a silhouette of grass. So what I'm going to do is just start gluing on the words. And I just kind of add sparingly because I just really want it to dry. And if I need to reposition, it'll just be a little easier to do. All right, so I have outlined this cozy, and you can kind of see where it starts. You kind of see where that C goes. It's a little too much glue, but it'll dry clear. Okay, so yeah, it just fits right in that little area. You can see that. And I'm going to go ahead and add glue to this border. And I just kind of hit the corners, maybe hit the middle a little bit. And that way, if I need to reposition, I don't have so much glue on here that it makes it really difficult for me to reposition it. All right, so I try to make sure I'm kind of in the center, which I am now. All right, I'm just gonna let it sit down. So when I was designing this card, I really wanted it to look like the foliage is kind of like making a frame for this nice little cozy cabin. So that's the first layer done. And as I lift this off, I'll see that I have the cabin to finish up. Kind of just hit these edges where I have more material. And one thing I thought would be kind of cool if you wanted to add like a yellow piece of paper in the background so it kind of seems like it's kind of lit up. But yeah, I just try to kind of center this. This is an offset. So just kind of center that in. And then they're not really tricky to put in. They're just really small. So you could opt to not even use these. But I'm going to put them in. I have a little glue in my hand, so I'll pick up. I don't want to use that much. So let me see. Yep. A little piece of grass over on the side. All right, so that layer's done. And let me add this little silhouette of Christmas trees in the background. And this is also offset as well. So just kind of come in. There we go. So now we have these layers glued together. And what we're going to do is I just want to go ahead and I'm just going to add foam to the last two layers and not the first one. So the first one I'm just going to stack up and just place directly on top. It's kind of nice, like a nice little framed area. I'm going to add a little bit more glue here. I didn't add a lot because I didn't know if I would need to change. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Just a little. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a little to these corners. And what I don't do is I just add it along the border of this frame, this layer or this frame, and not on top because this part is just going to be overlapping. Definitely if I use foam squares, and because it is just because it's layered. All right, so now let me make sure that I line this up nicely. Kind of even stack it a little bit as I'm placing this on here so it lines up nicely. Alrighty. Okay. And what I'm going to do is add foam to the back of this one and to the back of this one. And I try to get in a little bit toward the center edge a little bit more. I center that. I have like this little picker that I use. My little trick is just to go counterclockwise or clockwise, either one, just so that I'll remember where I started. I started in the center one. All right, I think I'm gonna stack this up. Make sure. Make sure that I have these corners right. And this could be a little tricky sometimes. Okay, nice. I really like how that's turning out. So before I attach it to this base, I'm gonna go ahead and fold this. I'm using my little popsicle stick to just make sure I get a nice little crease in there. And if you have a bone file, that would be nice to use. Yeah, make sure that's nice and creased. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with the foam tape in the back of this one. And I have these little squares. And I actually got these from the dollar store. The paper that I'm using is from Michaels, and I'm just using their solid color. Let me grab it for you so you can see. Actually, I think I took it out the packaging, but it's the 65 pound, I believe. It's not the heavy. Actually took it out the package, so I can't show it to you right now. And then I'm gonna put something along the side here. I should have put it on the side there, and I don't feel it like I did that. All right. But yeah, here's some paper I did get from Michaels. But this was the 12 by 12 that I used. So this was the heavyweight. And I was able to snag that on sale at Michaels one time. Or no, excuse me. I actually got that from Hobby Lobby. That was a heavy cardstock from Hobby Lobby. But this actual paper I'm using is from Michaels. So there's only a couple of stores that I grab paper from. I like Joann Fabric, but it's a little further from me. So I typically, the Hobby Lobby is right around the corner. So if they're having sales, I'll go. I know usually if I'm at Michael's, they'll have a buy one, get one. But at Hobby Lobby, I could actually get 40% off, and I'm not kind of stuck with 2 packages. All right, make sure that I'm lining up pretty well. Let me move this blue out the way so I'll know what when I'm lining this up. Ready. Alrighty, nice. I always like when these come together. Really nice. And I did the folding early on, so yep. Nice card. Yep, and then it really does pop out, as you can see, without even the with the heavier cardstock. And let's put together the envelope. So I'm just gonna fold in. And then I'll fold in these little tabs. And I like to just get a nice even fold with that. And then I'll fold this little flap in. So now, I'll fold this back. I'll just add, make sure that corner is nice and glued in. So then I'll just add like, no, I'll end it right here, around right here. Add a little bit in the corner here. Maybe a little more. Okay. Here we go. Nice, nice, nice. Let that dry a little bit, but as you can see, this is a little bit more larger, just to account for the thickness of the card. And again, you can add more layers. I just wanted to make sure that this was flat and not add the foam tape. But this is not quite dry, but I can like show you how it looks in. So looks when I put it in. There you go. There you have it. Cozy Vibes. Thanks for watching.